I'd like to give special thanks to 3 vs G for the Nox video request and to Cosmic Wolf for requesting this video. Without you guys, this series would be nothing, so thanks for helping the channel grow. I appreciate it. Now, let's roll that intro. Welcome to the Real Deal Smite God reveal, featuring Cabrakan, the Mayan mountain destroyer.
The last mountain that looked at me like that got broken in half!
Man, talk about your sleeper OP characters. Cabrakan has always been like a decent to pretty good god to pick up, but nobody really did because Cabrakan had a shit release. So Hi-Rez kept buffing Cabrakan because, as we all know, if a god requires skill in order to do well, they're completely unviable. So after like 6 buffs, someone got the idea to go full damage on him, and now he's OP. But what if I told you that building damage on Cabrakan isn't necessary, and you can do just as well with a normal support build? Don't believe me? Building damage on supports. Ha! That's just a crutch for noobs who don't understand the importance of teamwork. Well, whatever. As for who he plays like, he's basically a straight upgrade of Ymir in every sense. Ha! Thought I was going to use a League of Legends character like I usually do? Get riggedy wrecked, son. So let's get into his kit and see what makes Cabrakan so good. Cabrakan's passive is Shadow Zone. Cabrakan and nearby allies take 5% reduced damage. Did you know that Cabrakan's passive used to apply to everyone but Cabrakan? Now you know. Yeah, this was one of the reasons why Cabrakan was considered bad on release. I mean, when you think about it, it doesn't make sense. It's a buff that's generated from Cabrakan that doesn't affect Cabrakan. Yeah, not a day goes by where I wonder, what the fuck were you thinking, Hi-Rez? Regardless, this passive is alright. Sure, it helps your team win trades more often, but when you start doing the math, 5% damage mitigation is basically nothing. Still, it can be the reason you lived with a sliver of health. Cabrakan's one is Seismic Crush. Cabrakan becomes enraged, increasing his movement speed by 35%. While active, Cabrakan gains 70% increased attack speed, and his next successful basic attack will stun for 1 second and do 280 plus 50% of Cabrakan's magical power as bonus damage. Additionally, Cabrakan is immune to slows and roots while this ability is active and does not suffer the basic attack penalty. This is the reason why people think Cabrakan is OP. They look at this and go, "Oh my god, this ability synergizes way too much with Soul Reaver and Polynomicon. Hi-Rez nerf this already." And I'm just sitting here thinking, yeah, but it's a single target CC ability that requires Cabrakan to be right next to the target. As far as a CC on supports go, that's pretty subpar. If anything, people should be complaining that it's a free root and slow cleanse. Well, whatever. Cabrakan is one of my support mains, so I'm just being biased and my opinion doesn't matter. So there isn't much else to elaborate on since it is a pretty straightforward ability. However, a fun little fact about this ability: when you activate the ability and if you're wearing Traveler's Shoes, it won't negate the shoe's bonus speed passive, so you can charge at the enemy twice as fast as you normally would. Or you could just buy Blink, that works too. Cabrakan's 2 is Refraction Shield. Passively, whenever Cabrakan's shields take damage, they gain 6 protections and the passive can stack 5 times. When Cabrakan activates this ability, Cabrakan slams his shields together, creating a concussive blast and dealing 320 plus 50% of Cabrakan's magical power as damage to enemies in front of him. If his shields have the maximum number of stacks, then the enemy gods hit or stunned for 1.5 seconds and the stacks are removed. So this ability is like a mini Ymir stun with an asterisk next to the stun. The passive on the ability is quite good, seeing as extra armor is always nice to have. Or it would be if Iris didn't give pen on every fucking item this season. Seriously, why did Haste and Fatalist need pen? It was fine as is. Like, what the fuck? I digress. So the stun can only be used if the passive on the 2 is fully stacked. Although once you do use Cabrakan's 2, you'll be vulnerable since the ability consumes these stacks. But then again, if you land the stun, you won't have to worry about losing protection since the people that would be able to kill you, well, won't. I don't know. Make of it what you will. It's still a good ability. Cabrakan's 3 is Tremors. Cabrakan repeatedly slams the ground with his shields, creating an earthquake and causing enemies around him to tremble. Enemies caught in the earthquake are damaged for 65 plus 35% of Cabrakan's magical power every 0.5 seconds and are slowly sucked in towards Cabrakan. This ability can only be channeled for a maximum amount of 10 seconds. This is the ability that makes Cabrakan stand out from the other gods due to the unique CC tied to the ability that only Cabrakan has. That said, the only thing I would like to be clarified is how exactly Tremor works as a CC. Yeah, I know it forces opponents to move back and forth, but the game states Cabrakan pulls enemies towards him. So what I want to know is if the pull is an add-on to the ability, or if Tremors does knock opponents back and forth and pulls. Just wondering since the game made sure to specify that detail and there's no way to tell since Cabrakan is the only god with this CC. Regardless, it's a really good ability since it's kind of like a Poseidon Whirlpool. Although you can be a real dick and have an ally Poseidon put a whirlpool under you while you're using this ability. But early game this ability drains the shit out of Cabrakan's mana. The only other thing to mention is that Cabrakan does have to channel this ability, which makes him an easy target to damage or CC. Also, I personally don't build cooldown on Cabrakan since the Cabrakan combo is to charge in with your 1, get your passive off on your 2, then lock him in with your 3. So yeah, by the time you're done using your 3, your other abilities are back up or soon to be. Just a little tip for you. Cabrakan's ult is Tectonic Shift. Cabrakan stomps the ground, creating a wall of earth in a fissure that travels out in front of him and deals 550 plus 70% of Cabrakan's magical power and damages enemies caught in its path. The walls may be destroyed if they take 3 auto attack hits. Cabrakan may destroy his own walls with a single basic attack. As far as ults go, it's pretty good. Not much else to say, it's just a super Ymir wall that forms in a half circle and has some counterplay, while Ymir's is a wall with no counterplay. Cabrakan ult in 1 synergy, woo! No, but really, outside of the obvious synergy of lockdown and control the ult provides, you can also be cheeky with Cabrakan's ult and use it to protect your tower or phoenix, or block the siege from entering the portal in arena. This is a little anticlimactic for an ult. Whatever. Cabrakan's a good support god. Try him out sometime. Let's see more montage.